We're continuing our deep dive into the classic Marvel series Godzilla King of the Monsters with a Bigfoot-sized video featuring issues 10 and 11. We got the new colossal monster, Yetrigar, so let's dive in and get to the action. Can y'all tell I'm pumped? Man, this is a whole lot of fun. Let's look at all these covers here. In the middle, we got the omnibus. Right here, we have that original issue, and here's the black and white from the Marvel's Essential volume. So, looking real cool, but this series always has an amazing first page splash, so let's take a look at that, too. How cool is that? What an opening page. We just got the monsters fighting right off the bat. So very cool. I love how these people on the raft are just like flying too. One thing of note I thought was funny, I should say, is in the reproduction in the omnibus, they did not correct the color right there, because you can see the space between Yetrigar's legs there and the mountain is not colored in either volume. It's left white, so they did not correct that. Of course, they fixed it for the Essentials volume, though, so I don't know why they cheaped out. So, hooking you in with that awesome shot, but it turns out that's a flash forward, because when we get to this page here, we see we're following Godzilla with the helicarrier immediately after the Las Vegas incident, and he's wandering through while Jones is talking with Dugan about the nuclear testing underground going on around here, and that's when right here we get a flash back to the actual nuclear testing, and it cracking a fault line going all the way up into Canada and such, and affecting this Yeti creature that was frozen in ice and waking him up. So he ends up irradiated just like Godzilla. Pretty much the same origin story as Godzilla in the comics, as far as being in a slumbering state and irradiated and awakened from nuclear blast. So it's a good mirror to him, and it's a cool creature, just a giant Bigfoot. I can dig it. It's kind of along the lines of Kong and having a Godzilla versus King Kong fight, so that's pretty fun. But we're following along, and Tamara and Wu are talking and getting a little bit more flirting while they're watching little Rob, trying to keep him away from the Red Ronin robot, because he is under strict orders not to be piloting that. However, they're too lovey-dovey with each other, and he ends up running off and sneaking into the damn thing. Here we see our big Yeti creature chucking a huge rock at the behemoth. I love it. Like, this is a cool looking helicarrier. I love how beefy it is. But man, it is not seeing good days, because it just goes straight down. And I love this bit here with the Yeti just kind of shaking his fists at him. This is cool, and also explains why it takes Rob so long to actually get into the robot to be piloted as well, is he has to climb all the way up it from inside, as opposed to taking any sort of automatic lift system, because he doesn't want anyone to know that he's in the thing. But once he gets up to it, he straps in and he blasts off, which is great, because if you didn't spy the cover for the issue 11 there, Red Ronin does end up joining the action. I love this bit of Godzilla walking. He just don't want to do nothing with anybody. He's just tired. He wants to be left alone. And so he just keeps going until he gets to this cliff, and there's nowhere left to go. So he has to turn around and confront his pursuers. And what a cliff, too, because we're at the Grand Canyon. And what a place to have a match at. Like an arena fit for colossal creatures. This page is cool, so why don't we take a little break? A break to look at these full pages of artwork. So cool. If it isn't obvious, in the middle we got the omnibus. On the right we have the original issue. on the left we have the Black and White Essentials volume. That is just so rad. And this is one where I will say I clearly like the color version more. As much as I do love the black and whites, just the radical colors that we got on the actual issue itself, and of course in the omnibus the colors are just that much richer because they haven't faded over time and on that old type paper. But man, I just love how it pops, the little bits of pink in the clouds. We got the reflections of the pink right here with the dark orange hues on top of the yellows and the light mustards. Like, just so freaking cool. That is a great shot. And I love how the two monsters are just standing off against each other. Yetragar's just kind of pointing, going, "Rawr!" And you got Godzilla there with his arms out going, "Rawr!" And you can just feel the vibe. So cool. But let's get back into the comic itself. With this cool confrontation here, it follows into an awesome slugging match, and both of them go careening off the side of the cliff there. And these kayakers are in for a bad time, I tell you what. And I love this, how we see them just falling in the huge splash. And these poor people just flying. You can barely see the little bits of them there, but they're just sketched in to the water. And they pull themselves out, and it's just like, oh man, watch for that tail. Like, just imagine being that on the sidelines. I would have to think that the water would have actually thrown them further up than that, but it seems like they're a good safe distance away all the same. But what distance is safe for a creature that big, huh? So we got the atomic breath. I love how Yetragar's just grabbing the landscape around him and using it as a weapon, whether he's chucking giant rocks at things, or he's using it to block an atomic blast, or just as a cudgel to smack you in the face. I love that. Godzilla gets some good licks in here, you know. Like, he gives and takes good. But this right here, so funny with the bite. Oh, what a great confrontation. They're just really tussling good. But then we get this page right here at the very end where, like, I don't know what kind of comic reader you are, but if you're anything like me and you get to a page like this, you are either anxiously awaiting the next month, or you're digging through your short box and long box to try and find the next one because you gotta get to it. I mean, come on. That is a great page. Heck, let's pull out the other volumes again. Just how cool is that with all three of them there? It looks great. I love how both those giant monsters are just staring up because this mechanical behemoth is just dropping down from the sky, and neither one of them really know what to make of it. But yeah, this stinger at the end just really gets me. And I mean, that's why we're doing 2 issues in one for this video. So man, let's turn the page and get to the next one. Essentials on the left, original on the right, omnibus in the middle, Battle of the Behemoths, issue 11, promising all the action you could possibly ask for. So let's get to it. There's our opening page as Godzilla grabs Yetragar and they careen off the side of the canyon. A little bit of a flashback catching us up on last issue, but it sets up the scene. I love this black and white artwork. I'm really enjoying the original here. So much fun, and it's great seeing all the advertisements and such. But man, these colors in the canyon look so beautiful. But speaking of advertisements, we've been mostly going through the omnibus for all these videos. Let's dig through issue 11 here and enjoy all the ads in the original printing of the comic itself. You can see what I'm talking about. The colors are a bit dulled out from what we would see otherwise, but I will say I absolutely love how warm it feels, and just the off-color pages, the faded colors, just being a bit more saturated and just glowy. It's fun. Also, the book smells. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you can actually smell the paper and the ink. It's so great. And here we're getting a bunch of fun ads. Oh, an exciting offer for Earthlings. The official Star Wars fan club. Oh boy. Pause that if you want to read a little bit more. But we're just getting in the middle of this awesome fight as Red Ronin shows up, and he's trying to kind of make the peace between these creatures because he's the friend of Godzilla. Rob, he thinks Godzilla's misunderstood. He doesn't want to hurt him. And he also realizes that this Yeti creature is no more vicious or worthy of his hate and violence than Godzilla is. So he's just trying to stop the two with their tussle. But although Godzilla, he recognizes Red Ronin and him helping him in the past with the helicarrier. And so he's actually kind of chilling and listening and helping out Red Ronin. But as we see, well, shoot, flipping, and we got some ads. So let's focus on that. Those are some real cool longboards right there. I can dig that. But you can see Yetrigar's just tossing him around. Godzilla's trying to help him out a bit. He blasts at Yetrigar, but Red Ronin already knocks the fella away and ends up taking the blast. But at a certain point, he comes to realize that there's nothing that he can do, and if he doesn't actually fight back and use real violence against Yetrigar, he will be in trouble. Man, Star Wars action figures or a buff physique, which are you gonna go for? You can only mail away for one. But man, see, that's the thing. I would hate to cut these out because look at that. You're cutting right into this fantastic artwork here at Dugan. But we get a little bit of catch up with our Shield fellas. You know, they're not able to actually keep up with them all, but they've taken a plane here. They're gonna get to where they need to be, and they're I like this where they're talking about seeing the Bigfoot there, and it's like, that's a Bigfoot. But they're gonna get to where they need to go, and Howard's here. He's got to fix up that engine, all the while Dugan and Jones are gonna catch up with the action. But man, I would not like to be any of these kayakers. That is for sure. But yeah, this bit here is just, I love his transforming hand and that laser blaster there. Real cool. Oh, how fun is that? How fun is that? All these old candy bars. I don't recognize any of them except for the Clark bar. And over here we got the letter pages too. So in case you want to read them, let me just hold it up closer to the camera and you can pause that sucker. Because I doubt you're wanting to hear me reading the whole damn thing. But yeah, a ton of ads in these old ones. And you always think the older comics took longer to read, and that's true. They were heavier on the dialogue, but I'll tell you what, they were also padded out by a lot more advertisements than you see in current modern day comics, which only have a couple, and they're usually just house ads. But we're further into our action. Our kayak and hikers are trying to make their way to safety while getting away from all this carnage going about them. Little Robert here, he hears something with these people. I don't know how he's able to hear anybody from outside his robot and all the loud noises and violence going on around him. But still, he keeps up what he's doing, and I really like this here too. More of these silly ads. So ridiculous. Also, I like how this here is just straight up cribbing Thor, but they don't have the wings on him. So bad looking. But yeah, this tussle's real good. But big problem with this mech is the pilot is too easily knocked out of his chair. Like, dude is not even strapped in with any safety harnesses, and his mental link just pops right off him. So, like, what are you doing? That is a terrible way to design your thing. More ads. Now, I'm a sucker for these old baked good ads. This one here is for Twinkies with Thor. A glutton for gold. Oh man, that is ridiculous. Oh, and of course, over here we got our bullpen bulletins. So that's always fun if you're big into the whole Marvel thing and not just enjoy reading comics. Those are a bit of a chuckle. But yeah, this fight's really cool. They get all up into smashing. Like, Yetrigar ends up getting covered up by this avalanche that Rob does with Red Ronin, and he's feeling a bit remorseful because he wasn't able to resolve the conflict with Yetrigar without resorting to violence, which was his original intent. Meanwhile, Dugan jokes a bit with Gabe here. Gabe saying, maybe you're gonna regret what you're saying about the little kid. Or I'll just read it. Looks like that little brat took care of that problem, dum-dum. But he says, still want to get your hands on him? And, dum-dum, you bet I do, Jones. It ends a little bit sad with Rob thinking, maybe he's just going to fly off and keep on flying because he doesn't know what to do after what just happened, and there ain't no going back, at least how he sees it. But we'll see next issue, because that's going to be an exciting treat. However, we might as well flip the page here and look at the final bit of ads. We got our secret agent spy pen. Oh, so silly. I don't know. That's probably my favorite of everything we've seen in the magazine, though. I might actually send out for that. But I don't think if I did, I'd get anything back. At least not today. I had a whole lot of fun going through this issue with you, and it was fun doing it in the real one, too. As much as I like the omnibus, there's something special about flipping through these comics, the original thing, holding it in your hand, feeling that old school paper, which just has a different tactile feel to it, and the smell, that old comic book smell, you can't beat it. Tune in next time, because we got more exciting kaiju action in comic book form and some really cool collectibles to look at. We'll see you later for more Kaiju Live.